Hello, Fáilte. Welcome. This is Lora O'Brien, author and co-founder of the Irish Pagan School, and I'm here with part 3 of our student reviews on the Meeting the Morrigan 6-month intensive programme that we run once per year, starting in May at the Irish Pagan School. What has exceeded your expectations since enrolling on this programme? The value. This should be in universities as a core curriculum for any sort of Irish studies. My degree is in the sciences, so I don't know exactly what they have for this subject, but I do know that the workload was the same. It pushed me to my limits in all the best ways. I knew my external life would change through this programme. You'll hear it from just about everyone who's been through it. I don't think I was prepared for just how much I would change internally as a person, and holy shit, it is incredible. Motivation to do it again. The whole programme is a lot of work, but the reward of a backbone and the tua are so much more than anything I expected. The education and my personal growth as a result. How the biggest part of the intensive is not the study, although there is plenty of that to be sure, but the practice and the energetic shifts that occur in all aspects of life once this process has begun. I still don't understand all the lore, but I got links and info to accessible versions, and it has made beginning to understand so much better versus the overwhelm I had before. All the experiences have exceeded my expectations. The impact this programme would have on my life. I knew I would experience things and would be faced with obstacles when starting, but the things that actually started happening changed so much for the better without me ever knowing that I needed those changes. Morrigan is a goddess of change, folks. Don't ever forget that. For me, it has been the solid and strong foundation to be able to continue and grow the relationship I have with the Morrigan, and the relationships I have continued with others in the group. The gift of knowledge is something that keeps giving. The leadership and direction and support that Lora and the mods had given and still give is amazing. The tweaks and modifications made available to those of us with neurodivergence was awesome. Lora was always mindful of where we were in the programme. If there were any of us who were behind or needed a break week to catch up. If I could read today, this would be much better, be going much more smoothly, but we will carry on regardless. What's the main reason you recommend that others enroll in the Mórrígan Intensive? If you want to know the Morrigan, if you want to develop a deeper relationship with her, this is the place to be. There is no other, not in my book. I would have never learned any of this without joining the intensive. I would still have been a dabbler instead of a committed student and dedicated to herself. What's the main reason you recommend that others enroll in the Mórrígan Intensive? I feel like it's almost cliché at this point, but if you want or need major change in your life, this programme will make it happen. If folks are looking to learn more about and or build a relationship with herself, this is the most comprehensive way to do so. This is where you will find out what you're made of. She will show you. You will develop an unquestionably deep practice if you do the work. To get a strong foundation of lore in order to gain better understanding of the Morrigan. If you follow the Morrigan, just enroll. You won't want to leave. Usually the common thread amongst all Morrigan devotees is warriorship. You will get a greater understanding of what exactly that means. And it flows out to every aspect of your life, not just in a textbook sense, but in an integrated life sense. Change, breakthroughs, transformation. The connection and support are absolutely the best part. You might be able to cobble together a similar thing on your own, but you won't have access to a thought-out progression through steps, grounding in actual lore, teachings written by a native teacher, nor access to other folks going through on the same path. There is no other place to get more authentic information and better tools to incorporate what you learn within your own life. You start at the beginning and work your way in small steps up. If someone is serious about learning and growing, the intensive cannot be beat. This is the real thing. This is like boot camp for your soul. If you intend on working with the Morrigan, you're going to need it. What about the Irish Pagan School experience or your course tutor surprised you the most? I didn't really have many expectations, as this was the first intensive course I've ever taken. It was very much like a college course. I really appreciated how everything was broken down, the discussions every week and the weekly vlogs. I think having that video record of my journey is something that I will cherish. Our private Facebook page is still going strong a year later, and I'm so grateful I got to connect with people through this programme. I never cease to be amazed at the consistency this teaching community has to self-awareness and healthy community building. Lora is the best, sweary and honest, and I would consider her the leading authority on the Morrigan. A herald and a damn good teacher. You do your work. Your research is your own throughout each week, and anything you need engagement over or clarification on, Lora and the other moderators are there to help. The depth of the work. It is deep from a historical and lore perspective, of course, and the work is intense, but depth of the work with herself was surprising for me. Ease of use. I was surprised how much other things in my life began shifting energetically once I started the programme. Lora, the first class is what hooked me in, the guided journeying. It's why I can't stop journeying now. Also, the mods were super helpful and accommodating. Irish Pagan School surprises me every time with perspective. I'm on Turtle Island / US soil, so these concepts from Ireland fascinate me, like cattle raids, Rosk poetry, journeying to the other world, the She, the Tuatha Dé Danann, the Morrigan's multi-dimensionality, all of it. How willing the tutors to teach you more, and how they try to make sure that what they try to convey is understandable for everyone. What would you tell someone who's considering this? Especially, what cautions do you think new students should be aware of before enrolling? You get out what you put in. If you coast and barely skim the surface, you won't get much. If you dig in and do the work, you will find depths of connection and ways of doing your practice that work. The lifetime access and ability to revisit the curriculum and pick up the steps you missed is also utterly worth it. Again, things are going to change, probably a lot, and you're not going to have control over all of it. From experience, I can also say that you may not get the answers you're seeking. This course will challenge your core beliefs in every way. Who you believe you are, what you think your path in life is, who you think your people are. You will change. People will have a hard time railroading you after this. It makes people upset when they can no longer toy with you or your emotions. Please be ready to have your arse handed to you and be ready to challenge your own reflections. I think that if you are having difficult health and wellness issues, should give it a good think before you sign up. It is an intensive and things can get intense. That being said, many fellow students in my class managed all sorts of difficulties and completed the intensive. Be sure that you're ready for change in your life and be prepared to step up and fully participate to receive the full experience. You need to do your part. If you're not ready to commit full time to this, maybe you have too much going on, I would wait. But if you're ready to change that circumstance to something more balanced, then do it. It's about the will to transform. It's not about the external reality, but the internal strength. You have to do the work. This is not something you should take on lightly. The effort you put in will be given back to you, but you have to make an effort. This intensive will have an impact. There will be obstacles that have to be faced, and the work that you'll have to do is not just reading and studying. Be prepared for some big changes in your life, but it will be worth it, all of it. Prepare your calendar and emotional capacity for a demanding 23 weeks. There is a lot of self-work involved, a lot of honesty and stripping away of misconceptions, and there is an investment of time needed. If you're not up for that, this course is not for you, and honestly, connecting with the Morrigan might not be the best option for you. It's work. In every direction work. I was very concerned with the academic side of the programme. I do not have formal education and wondered if I would be overwhelmed. It was a wasted worry. There was a lot of it, and it was presented in a way that was manageable for me. The other thing I would say is that it is a time investment as well. Not just the coursework. For me, it was the me work as well. Prepare to be turned upside down and inside out, to look at the worst parts of yourself and to find a way to love those parts anyway. Prepare to confront your traumas, to stare fear in the face, but know that she will be standing behind you all the way. Is there anything else that you would like to comment on or say about the programme, the course tutor, or the Irish Pagan School in general? If you are really interested in learning more about Irish paganism from authentic sources with able teachers and no BS, this is the place. Thank you all for being here and putting in so much work. It's one of the greatest gifts I've ever received. I have never regretted an Irish Pagan School experience. If you are considering the intensive, sign up. You will be happy you did. I would say that the Irish Pagan School has been an ongoing source of support and guidance for those sincerely seeking to practice an Irish pagan path of spirituality and to learn how to connect to and potentially build relationship with deity. Love this so much. Thank you for all that you do. I love you. See you soon. We love you too. Just GRMA. Gura Mahagat. Thank you. The IPS teachers 100% know what they're talking about. I would like to add that, looking back on it, it was one of those pivotal points in my life. One of those that can be pointed to and say, that is where it started. My life has changed. I have changed, and my relationship to her has changed. It has grown and become stronger. I have become comfortable with being uncomfortable, and also that it is a part of my life. I'm grateful. Tired, but grateful. A huge thanks again to our students who contributed to these reviews: Anya, Annalyn, Ramona, Pixie, Juliet, Synth, Lisa, Alexa, Sarah, Daisy Lynn, Sam and Maureen. For info on the Mórrígan Intensive, please join the mailing list where you'll hear all about it each year in April and May. So you can go to irishpaganschool.com, scroll down, or enroll in any of the classes, and you'll be added to the mailing list. Slán go fóill. Hope to see you in the intensive.